The first case of COVID-19 infection was observed in December 2019 in Wuhan, China, and in just 6 short months has spread to over 6 million people worldwide. In the US alone, over 1.7 million people have contracted the virus, with nearly 1/3 of all coronavirus-related deaths globally occurring among Americans. In addition, the US has entered deeply into a new recession. The virus and subsequent quarantine have terminated over 33 million jobs since March 2020, and a record number of Americans have signed up for unemployment benefits. Now, as we approach our 3rd straight month under quarantine, there's a general sense of unease throughout the country, and a restlessness to return to the way things were before this global crisis. Some vocal citizens have even taken to the streets to protest stay-at-home orders, and states like Texas, North Dakota, and Alabama have begun lifting shutdown restrictions despite the rising death toll and the continuing spread of COVID-19. COVID-19 is caused by a coronavirus called SARS-CoV-2. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that are common in people and different species of animals. SARS-CoV-2's origin has been traced to bats, though the exact source of the virus remains unknown. Rarely, animal coronaviruses will infect people and then spread person to person. Within the last 20 years, COVID-19 is the 3rd animal coronavirus to be spread in this way, with MERS-CoV occurring in 2012 and SARS-CoV in 2003, both of which also originated in bats. But how does coronavirus actually spread? Once that first person or people are infected, the spread from person to person happens fairly easily. COVID-19 is thought to spread mainly through respiratory droplets produced when an infected person coughs or sneezes. These droplets can travel through the air and land in the mouths or noses of people nearby, or can even be inhaled into the lungs. Though much less likely, it is possible to contract COVID-19 by touching a surface or object that has the virus on it, and then touching your nose, mouth, or eyes. People are most contagious when they are displaying symptoms, most notably a high fever or chills, coughing, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, and fatigue, among others. But just because someone does not appear sick does not mean you should not be cautious. Symptoms may appear up to 14 days after contact with the virus. Worse yet, the virus has been detected in people who are asymptomatic or not displaying any symptoms. This is why officials, including the CDC, recommend social distancing of at least 6 feet to drastically limit your exposure to the virus. Until a vaccine is developed and widely distributed, we must do everything we can to limit the spread of coronavirus. The best and easiest way to do this is to practice social distancing. Social distancing involves a series of simple procedures you can do to prevent transmission. First and foremost, you can virtually eliminate your chances of getting or spreading coronavirus if you stay home. For persons who are exhibiting symptoms and have been directed to care for themselves at home, the CDC recommends isolating yourself until at least 3 days after recovery, meaning your fever and respiratory issues have been resolved, and at least 10 days after symptoms first appeared have passed. If you must go outside for any reason, there are ways to protect yourself and others. Avoiding large gatherings and maintaining a distance of at least 6 feet is a significant method of protection from coronavirus. The recommendation is 6 feet because respiratory droplets from coughs and sneezes travel much further than you assume. Cloth masks like this one are an important tool in eliminating the spread of coronavirus. Covering your nose and mouth with a mask can reduce your chance of spreading the virus to others if you are infected, whether or not you are showing symptoms. However, this is not a substitute for proper social distancing. Washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds is an effective strategy of removing microbes off of your skin. Hand washing alone can prevent about 20% of respiratory infections. If soap and water are not available, you can use hand sanitizer with at least 60% alcohol. You should also avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth if you have been handling objects in public spaces. Finally, make sure to clean and disinfect frequently handled surfaces and objects, such as tables, doorknobs, light switches, handles, and faucets. Social distancing is a simple way to protect yourself and your neighbors. The power to stop the spread of this deadly virus is in our hands. Quarantine has been a stressful time full of uncertainty, but if we hang in a little longer, we will be doing our part to save thousands of lives. We're in this together, even if we are 6 feet apart.